So hello everyone, it's Sheila and welcome to my channel. So you can tell by the title of this video, I am going to be doing a review on a luxury handbag that I acquired in my collection a few years ago. I'm going to be telling you my takes on the bag, how the wear and tear has worked out for me as far as my ownership of the bag. It is a pre-loved bag for starters. So I acquired the bag in 2014. But before that, I want to give you a little bit of background story as to my love for handbags, or shall I say my love for a specific name brand of handbags, which is none other than the Louis Vuitton. When I was a teenager in high school, I saw in a magazine, I fell in love, I wanted the Speedy so bad. I never acquired that Speedy. I still don't have it to this day. I'm still working on getting that in my collection. So I was fortunate enough with the job that I had a few years ago that yearly I would get a little bit of a bonus. It wasn't anything big or major, but it was just enough sometimes to kind of get you over the hump. For years I would use that bonus to buy Christmas presents. My lifestyle never afforded me the ability to have luxury bags. I can remember when I was a single parent, I would actually go into the Louis Vuitton store and I would stare at the Speedy 30. I would pick it up, I would touch it, I would just imagine that someday it would be mine, and then I'd give it back to the sales lady and gracefully walk away because it was just not in my budget. I still have that same desire for the Speedy 30. However, I do not have it yet. I will one day. But in the meantime, I set out, I said to my best friend at the time, I said to my best friend, I said, you know, every year I get this bonus. This year I'm going to make it about myself. This is when I first kind of got into the whole looking at things on eBay and YouTube and just the whole pre-love thing. I'd never really even heard of this until around this time frame. And so I started looking at pre-loved bags. And then I got to thinking, for my first pre-loved bag, if I were to be able to get one, what would it be? And although I really, really love the Speedy and my deepest desire is to have a Speedy, I started doing the practicality of it and I realized that I probably wanted something with pockets, something that I could put over my shoulder. I just kind of talked myself out of it and I continued to look through the website. I came across this one bag in particular and I was like, wow, it's so beautiful. But I looked at the price and I was like, oh my goodness, even pre-loved, I can't afford it. So I kind of thought to myself, no, that one's not gonna happen. And then I saw another one and I looked at the two bags. This one was a little bit less expensive. Actually, it was quite a bit less expensive. A little bit closer to my budget, although that one wasn't really in my budget either. It was going to exceed the amount of my Christmas bonus, but I was like, I really, really want this bag. I contemplated back and forth. Something told me, go ahead and send her a message, and I did. I told her that I was interested in the bag. I asked her if she could come off the price of it. She said, unfortunately not, but the site that she was selling on, she just couldn't really come any cheaper, which I understood because it was actually a good price for the bag. So I kind of was a little bit disappointed, but I thought to myself, oh, it's okay, I'll be fine. So over the course of our conversation, me and the lady had exchanged phone numbers. So I noticed that after a couple weeks, I went on the site a couple weeks later and I noticed that it wasn't sold. And that was something that I did quite often. I would go to the site and I would look at the bag just to see if it was still there, and it was still there. And then one day I looked and it was gone. And I was so disappointed. I thought, oh, she sold my bag. But it was weird because it didn't say sold. Like, you know, some of them will say sold. And I thought, that's interesting. It didn't kind of show sold, but I was like, whatever, she sold it. So I waited too long and I didn't have enough money anyway. And then I got a text message from her stating that if I was still interested in the bag, to please let her know. So I thought, oh my. And this was probably 2 weeks later from that time frame. So I messaged her back real quick and I said, yes, I'm very interested in it. However, I really can't afford to pay the price that you had it listed as. So I do understand that you would definitely need to sell it to someone else. She messaged me back saying, I can sell it to you for $1,300 if you want it, since I no longer have it on the site. She said, I took it off the site because I was having second thoughts about selling the bag because it was a gift for my husband. But then I had a long conversation with my husband and he has since then bought me a new bag. So I I am confident that I am ready to sell this bag. So I was like, awesome. But I was like, I still don't quite have enough money for that bag either, for the 1,300. And I told myself, I apologized to her for wasting her time. And I thanked her so much for responding to me and being the way she was with me. And lo and behold, she messaged back and she said, well, maybe we can work out something, a form of payment arrangement. My first thought was, and I'm gonna stop and say this right now, this is not something that I would ever recommend that anyone do. I was so fortunate in this matter. I don't know how to explain this other than to say that it was a very special situation. My first thought when she said that was, oh, you're not ripping me off. Because that's truly what the mind goes to when someone says things like that. Unfortunately, the world that we live in, that's kind of like what we think. And so I kind of was, I let her know, I don't know that will work out. And she messaged back. I can't remember her message back. We ended up messaging back and forth a few times, and then we came up with something that we thought would work. She would send the bag to me along with the receipt, along with the box that it came in, the dust bag. Our final decision was that she would send me the bag first, and then I would make the first payment. And I thought, oh my God, it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, if she sends me the bag first, I can authenticate it, and then I send her the payment. Unreal. So I talked to my best friend. We decided that that's okay, we're gonna do it. So I gave her my address, and just like she promised, the bag came in the mail. It came UPS, where I had to sign for it. She had insured the bag. I videotaped the day that I received the bag, me opening the box up, and I will put a picture somewhere at the end of this video of the first day that I actually put the bag on my shoulder. I don't have the video anymore. I'm not sure what happened to it. I had it on one of my phones, whatever phone I had back then, and I don't have it anymore. But I videotaped me opening up the box, and literally that day, my girlfriend and I drove to the Louis Vuitton store. I had it authenticated right there at the store. I had the receipts. I had the little receipt thing. This bag was actually, like I said, was purchased in 2013, and it was actually purchased in a store in California. So I mean, I had all the credentials that show that this was a real bag. It was authentic. And yeah, so when I took it to the Louis Vuitton store, the girl was able to assist me right away. When they authenticated the bag, I was just in heaven. I right away got a cashier's check and mailed her first down payment, which was $300. And that's all she was asking for to get it started. So I paid her the $300 initially at first. And then the next month, I think I paid her $600, and then I paid off the balance. So in 3 payments, I was able to pay it off to her. She was like, don't worry, don't stress out about it. Don't give me all your money at one time. I was like, this lady is super nice. And she just said to me, you just seem like such a nice person. And I told my husband that I wanted this bag to go to someone that was gonna love it as much as I know that the love he put into it to give it to me. And I was just like, oh my gracious. So enough about the bags. Go ahead and show it to you. And this is the Artsy MM that I acquired in 2014, a pre-loved bag. When I received this bag, the handles were completely, basically I say white, but the really light color. There was no signs of patina. This bag looked like it had not ever been touched. Just like she said, everything was perfect on the bag. I love that bag. I literally carried the bag every single day from that day until this happened. So I had seen in videos where they had talked about that these bags sometimes get a little slits in that they get little split marks in the very top of the bags. And that's what happened to my bag. So I got this bag in 2014, and it was purchased in 2013. And in 2015, I noticed that this bag had splits in it. I was so disappointed. I was literally at the point of tears. I wanted to cry. I could not believe this was happening to me. I loved this bag. So disappointed. And of course, you all know Louis Vuitton does not honor, they don't do anything when anything happened to the canvas. So I was so disappointed. I've asked several times, and every time I've asked, I've been told that no, they can't repair it. So I've got some thoughts in my head about what I want to do to have it repaired, because I've gone back and forth thinking maybe I would sell it, maybe someone else would get some use out of it. And it's not that I don't love the bag anymore, but I was just so weirded out by the fact that it split up, that the little markings came on it that I was just like, I just stopped carrying the bag, which is so weird. As much as I loved it, I just literally stopped carrying the bag. And I pulled it out a couple times since then, and I've carried it because I've managed to get over my little feelings about it. Recently though, I have decided that I might try to do something about this, like maybe take it to someone, because I feel that if they just put like a coating on the bag, that this would actually work out, of like that coating would help in some way. I don't know, maybe that's just my imagination, I'm not sure, but that's what I'm thinking. So but yeah, a friend of mine actually kind of convinced me to not to, because I even, you know, I mentioned to her, oh, I'm thinking about selling my bag, and she goes, girl, don't sell that bag. It's a beautiful story how you got the bag. Someone trusted you, allowed you to make payments, and I mean, you got an authentic bag, you were able to pay for it over a period of time. That doesn't happen, so you have to hold on to the bag. So that being said, I'm never going to get rid of this bag. This is going to be that bag that I'm going to be able to tell. It doesn't look like I'm going to have a granddaughter anytime soon, because my son and my daughter-in-law have decided they don't want any more children, and I have a grandson. But maybe I can tell my granddaughter-in-law. That's pushing it though, but maybe I can share this bag with her and tell her the story about this bag. But I am going to keep this bag, and I'm going to love this bag forever. But that is the only thing that has gone wrong with this bag, even though that's a big thing, because I'm afraid, one of the reasons why too I don't like to carry it is because I am afraid that the split will continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger, because there's about 3 of them on there, I think. Yeah, about 3 of them on there, but one of them has gone past the thread. So I think that's what scares me about it. But I have actually really contemplated seeing what I could do to have it repaired, maybe just at a leathersmith, or someone that maybe specializes in working with canvas materials. I don't know. I don't even know if that exists, but I have contemplated that. So I will put this question out there. If anyone know of a way to repair this top area of the bag, or if they've had this experience with Louis Vuitton. But I will say this, and this is what disappoints me the most. I know that they were saying that this came from deodorant that was on the underarm, and because I had read that, I was very particular about not ever carrying this bag when I wore short sleeves or anything where my underarms would expose. I would never carry the bag on my shoulder. I would always carry the bag here, and most of the time I carried the bag this way anyway. So I honestly feel that this was a defect that had nothing to do with deodorant. I think it was in the cloth that they made the bag with, or the sealing that they put on the bag. I don't know, but I just know that I didn't do anything to warrant that happening. And I know when I bought the bag was in excellent condition. So I can't say that it was anything that the person who had carried it, who had purchased it originally, that they had done anything. And besides, when I tell y'all I carried this bag every day for a full year, I never changed my bag, not one time. I carried this bag for a full year, no matter where I went, no matter what I did, rain, sleet, or snow, although we don't get sleet and snow here in San Antonio, but I never stopped carrying my bag. I was like, I don't care if it rains, I'm gonna carry my bag. I know everyone was saying that the patina will get rain spots on it. Not this girl. I carried my bag. So I loved it just that much. I was so excited about my bag, and when I look at it now, I feel that same excitement about the bag, you know, because I'm like, it fit every need that I had, even though it's a very big bag. But I realize I love big bags, so that's just me. I love my big bags. But yeah, so it's definitely a piece that I will love and cherish forever. There's nothing that Louis Vuitton will do about the canvas on it. Sometimes I think about going in the store and trying to charm or sweet talking someone, and maybe they'll feel sorry for me, because I'm like, this is a miracle bag that I have. Like, maybe the miracle will extend out. But so to tell you a little bit about the bag itself on the inside, let me tell you, I have it stored. I actually had been storing it folded in, and then I watched a video where they were talking about the bags, when you store them, you shouldn't store them folded up. So I'm not going to do that anymore. So I have stuffed it, and I'm going to leave it stuffed. But I don't know if you all know, I mean, there's been so many videos about these bags, so I know you know what they look like on the inside. But it has, okay, so to tell you a little bit about how the bag is designed and things of that nature, although I know there's been so many videos on YouTube, and I know that there's tons of videos out there that shows the bag in great depth. So I'm not going to get into a whole lot about the bag, but I will tell you the bag has 6 pockets on the inside. It has a very large zippered space on the inside as well. And the lining in the bag is the tan color, the standard tan color that a lot of the Louis Vuitton bags have. Like I said, it also has the feet on the bottom, and it has this little I want to say like a reinforcement type of a thing here at the bottom that allows the bag to have support. If you were to place the bag on a table or somewhere, it will stand up properly on its own, and the more stuff that you put in, it does actually stand up on its own as well. It has a very thick braided strap, which a lot of people mentioned that the strap hurt their shoulders. It never hurt my shoulder. It's very flexible now. When I first got it, it was very stiff, but it never hurt my shoulders. It worked out fine for me, so I have no complaints about this bag at all. It does have a little tassel thing that hangs from it, and I was actually just thinking I might place this on another bag, on my Matisse Hobo. That might look really good, you think? I don't know. But anyway, I do love this bag. I would recommend this bag if anyone is looking at a pre-loved bag and they see this bag and this is something that they can afford and they want in their collection. I definitely would recommend the bag. So I would have to say, definitely do your research before making the purchase. And that could be a question that you ask the person that you're making the purchase from. Do the bag show any sign of splitting at the very top of the bag? So that's my thoughts on the Artsy MM. Like I said, I absolutely love this bag. It's such the perfect bag. It holds everything, great for traveling. Definitely would be a staple piece to have in your collection if you are a person that like luxury handbags or can afford luxury handbags or can afford one luxury handbag. And on that note, I would like to say, when you're making the decision on what luxury handbag to purchase, you do have to weigh a lot of pros and cons about what lifestyle that you have based on what type of purchase you're going to make. And that is why I didn't look so much for the Speedies back when I was looking for this bag. I really needed something that I could put on my shoulders, or something that had a little bit more leeway as far as whereas the Speedy, you know, it just had that little handle. I just didn't feel like that was going to work for me to have as a permanent bag at that particular time in my life. Now, where I am in my life now, I so would have done it, you know. But I have no regrets to having this bag. But those are things that you do have to think about when you're trying to make the decision on purchasing a luxury bag, something that's going to cost a lot of money. Make sure that it's something that's going to fit for you. Don't get it because everyone on YouTube likes that bag or everyone carries that bag. Make sure it's going to be a fit for you, because honestly, if you would have told me, like I said, the first bag which I mentioned when I did my review on the Hobo Matisse, that bag was the original one that I wanted over this one. I just happened to see the price of that one and said, that ain't happening, which was good, because then I ran into a wonderful lady that sold me this bag and allowed me to make payments, and you know, things just worked out. So I do believe everything happens for, like I said, it is a bag that I think would be an awesome bag to have. You have to like large bags though, because it really is a big bag. And I will say this, it's great for traveling. However, it is very difficult to get under the airplane seat. I learned that from carrying this bag, but I pushed it in, and I kind of, especially if you fill it up, because I had so much stuff in it, it was kind of like filled up to the top. So I had to rearrange everything, and you know, and to get it to where I could smush it up enough to get it underneath the seat. So it is a very, very big bag. I don't know if you can see. Of course, I'm not going to give you all the measurements and all that stuff, because you guys, that's been done over 1,000 times on various videos. But yeah, so like I said, it goes on the shoulder like so, and this is what it looks like on the shoulder again. And this, I think, because it does stick out, it gives you the appearance of a very big bag. Whereas I think the Matisse Hobo that I have, it's not so much that way, because it kind of goes straight down. So again, like I said, I could go on and on for hours and hours about this bag, because I do love it. And it's so funny, because when I pulled it out to do this review today, I was like, oh my gracious, I'm in love all over again. Like, I'm like, I could carry this again, like tomorrow, but I'm not gonna put my stuff in it again right now. But yeah, so in conclusion, I would like to say I would highly recommend this bag. I think it's a great bag to have. Again, the only thing I would say, just be cognizant of the fact that there is splitting that can happen at the top of the bag. So do your research, do your homework, really give that a thought before you make the purchase to the bag. But other than that, it's been one of the best bags I've ever carried. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you stick around for a while, and I'll see you guys in my very next video. Bye.